All right, so today I want to talk about some good stuff. I got some good stuff, so I want to tell you what's going on in Juice Property. So I got a couple of wholesale deals that I'm working on. So I want to take you through that whole process, how I got these deals, what did I look at when I was looking at the numbers, why did it make sense, the whole 9 yards, okay? So we're going to get this thing started. So I want to start with a property to show you where we always start at. Let me get this thing here. So hold on, let me get I want to see where it's just me on here. I don't know why it's showing you there. Anyway, so I want to show you how we start. So one of the things that I keep telling you, that in order for you to get started in real estate, you're going to have to do some wholesale deals. If you don't already have money, then you're going to have to figure out how to get some money. And the quickest way to get money is doing some wholesale deals. So right now, that's what we're doing. We're focusing in on getting some wholesale deals. So I got two in the works right now. I want to take you through how I got them, what was my logic, all the things that I look at in order to determine if these are good deals or not. So the first thing that I do is I look on the Oklahoma County Sheriff's Sale. That's where we're finding these, and we're buying properties in what we call the pre-foreclosure document. So these properties are headed to the sheriff's sale, but they hadn't made it. So this list is produced by the Oklahoma County Sheriff. This is produced in every county throughout the United States of America. Wherever you are, they have county sales, okay? And so you go to this list and it'll show you all the sales that are coming up. For instance, there's a sale coming up December 2nd, one December 16th, January 6th, and January 20th, okay? So when you look at, so the ones coming up on the 2nd, that's coming up in a few days right here, right? So here are the properties that's going to be coming up for sale. As you can see, this one right here has been recalled. So whenever it says recall, that means they've either paid it off or it's been pulled back off for the sale. But if it's on this list, and if on this list from December 2nd, then it's going to be sold, okay? So this is where I'll start at, okay? So all these, I've already called all of these people on this list, okay? Everybody on this list has already got a call from me. And let's see, did I get anything off of this list? I don't think so. Did not get nothing off of this list. Mine was on the previous list, okay? So, but anyway, so this is where I would start. And so I would make all these calls and I finally get one, okay? So one of the properties that I got was, let's go to OCIN docket. So the individual's name was Pamela Morris. There's Pam right there. And so I would go to Oklahoma County. You'll see all the counties that come up, but I'm looking for Pam Morris that's in Oklahoma County, right? So here's Oklahoma County. And so I know that this is the one that I'm looking for right here, right? And so when I went in and first searched this out, so I would look and see, okay, I know this is a foreclosure. I know who the attorneys are. And so this particular one, so when I first looked at this, it says that it's dismissed without prejudice, okay? So that means that this particular case has already been dismissed. So I got to go back and look for another one that's under her name. So let's go back. So there's two. There's one here for 2018 and one here for 2020. Let's look at this one right here. This foreclosure. Okay, this is the one. So this is default judgment, August the 26th. I don't remember what date she was up for the sale, but the sale has been moved out. In fact, I think they moved hers out to January. Let's go back and find that. on my list here. We'll go back. January 6th. I believe they moved her out to there. So let's find her on here. The address is 2408 Northwest 33rd. Okay. So this is where I found her. I called her up, talked to Pam. She gave me a story about, she hadn't paid on this in over 2 years and she's getting ready to let the house go. And so I talked to her several times and finally convinced her, hey, look, I can purchase this property for cash. It's a win-win situation. You can get the property is going to be paid off. The foreclosure won't be on your name. I get a property for a decent price. Okay. So the first thing that I did when I looked this account up is I looked up the case, right? And so let's go back to the case. So that's Pamela Morris, that's the case. So I'm gonna go back to Oklahoma County. Okay, and this was, is this the one? I'm looking for the one with default judgment. All right, so this is it right here. So the first thing I want to look at, what they call the final order. I want to know what the final order was in here. So I'm gonna look through here and I'm gonna look for the final default. So here's the order on September 1st that granted the motion for default judgment. When it says default judgment, that means she didn't even show up at court to try to fight this thing. Okay, so I want to look at this file, and this is where I want to try to determine, okay, that's not the right one. Hold on here. Let's look, journal. This is the journal entry. It should be it here. Hold on. It's like my computer is getting stuck. There's a file. All right, so here's the final entry on this. So first thing I want to find out is approximately how much does she owe on this, right? How much am I going to have to pay in order to pay this off? In order for me to stop this judgment, I'm going to have to pay off what she owes plus any interest, taxes, and fees and whatever. So the final journal entry was entered in August of 21. Okay, so I'm going to scroll down through here. And I'm gonna look. Okay, so here's my first indication. Okay, looks like she has an unpaid amount of $69,500. Okay, plus the attorneys, they're gonna want like $2,900 in order to do this deal. So I gotta pay whatever she owes plus whatever the attorneys owe. Okay, so I know I got a good idea that this particular one is going. And here's another judgment. The Oklahoma Tax Commission, she has a judgment outstanding. Looks like it was back in 2017 for $704. So I'd have to pay that also. So here's the final deal here. The judge ordered that she's behind $69,500 plus $2,900 plus that $300. So I say I'm gonna have to pay about $72,000 for this. And so that's the contract that I'm gonna write for her and that I did write for her. So let's see the purchase agreement. So here's the purchase agreement that I have with Pamela. So I was able to talk to her and say, hey, I'm gonna buy this property. It's located at 2408 Northwest 33rd. I'm gonna pay $72,000. I'm taking the property as is. This is my standard contract that I have. As you see, I say I'm gonna close it by 11:30. If you notice, 11:30 is already passed, right? The day we signed this contract was back in October the 22nd. So I gave myself 30 days to get it closed. We never did get the final amount back yet. So I went past that day. So I had to write an addendum to extend it out past 11:30. So I had her sign that. I could show you that, but no biggie. All right. So I just wanted to show you the contract. Says I'm gonna pay all the seller's closing costs, and I'm gonna get this thing closed as soon as I can. So she signed it. So this was the contract, all right? So I got it under contract. I sent the contract to Chicago Title, right? Chicago Title got this back in October, and they sent me a title search. And this is the title search that came back. So this is the title search is going to tell me, are there any other liens? Are there anything else that's owed on this that I'm going to have to pay in order to get this in my name? Okay. So I know it's going to be about $72,000 cash and I'm going to have to pay for this property. All right. So then I just got this back from Chicago Title the other day. And so it says, this is the commitment date that I signed the contract. I said it's for $72,000. All right. This is the seller, Pam Morris. And they said, so these are all the requirements that it's going to take for me to close this deal. So I want to kind of walk you through this. So when I get down here, it says I got to pay all the taxes, charges, anything that's on that property. Okay. They say I need to obtain a release for a mortgage that she executed on March of 2015 for $114,000. Okay. So I got to get that released. But then they also said you got to obtain a release for another mortgage, same amount, $114 that was on the same account. So what this was, she bought the property from the Secretary of Housing and Development. They turned right around and sold it to this mortgage electronic system. Okay. So it's not two different mortgages, it's the same mortgage, but I got to show both of them as paid off, right? So I have to go do that. Also, here's the Les Pendens case. This is the case that was filed on behalf of the American Advisors who took the mortgage, right? So I got to get a release of that. And then I also got to get a release of this other document that was filed in the court, okay? So these have to be released. I got to get all this taken care of, all right? So that's everything that I got to do, plus pay the property taxes, anything like it. Anybody got any questions on any of this on this title search document? Okay, so now I know what I'm up against, right? The 114 is when she first took that out in 15, but we know it's paid down to 69, right? Because we saw that in the final judgment. It's all the way down to 69,000. So, okay, Mr. Ray, how do we know that this is a good deal or not? Okay, so what we got to do now is we got to go back and we got to take a look and see what's this property worth. Okay, so first thing I would do is go to Zillow and look it up, 2408 Northwest 33rd Street. And so I go to Zillow, and Zillow just gonna give me a little bit of that. So Zillow said it's probably worth about 130, okay? And rents in that area at about 1,095. So I'm saying, okay, good. If I can get it for 70 something, it's worth 130. You know, Zillow ain't all the way right. And this is not even the value of the property if it's total fixed up, okay? So I go back here and I would look through and see, okay, last time it was sold, it showed it was sold for 73 back in 2014, right? So this is not always right, okay? Because I just showed you that she had a mortgage on it for 114 back in 2016. That doesn't even show on Zillow. So you got to be careful of what Zillow shows, because they don't always show the right thing. Okay, so now I got to figure out, okay, is this property worth me buying it for the 72,000? All right, well, that's what we need to find out. So I'll go ahead and do my due diligence, and I'm going to show you the ARV for 2408 Northwest 33rd. So if you've been with me, you're familiar with this spreadsheet. So here's the address. It's 2408, 3-bed, 1-bath, 1-car garage, 1,000 square feet. So this is what I came up with as an ARV. Here are my comps. In fact, one's on 38th Street, sold for 140, 37th, 198. I forgot to put the address on this last one, right? Okay, got to go back and figure that one out. But anyway, the average is about $147 a square foot at 1,008 to say. So the ARV is going to be right around 150. Okay, so I would say I'm coming in looking pretty good. I assume in order to take this property all the way back up and be able to put it on the market, take about $30,000 to get it up. I've already seen the property. I'm going to show you a video here, show you what the property looks like. So my purchase price is pretty good. I told you I was going to purchase it for 72. So I'm looking good on 72 on this property. So if I was going to flip the property, here's what it would look like. So I say the ARV is 148. I'm gonna purchase it for 72. That leaves me $76,000. It's gonna cost me $30,000 in repairs. Okay, which now is gonna leave me $46,000. I'm saying I gotta pay about $13,000. If I put it on the market, I gotta pay, you know, Lila and all these other real estate agents I really don't like to fool with, but I'm gonna pay them anyway. And I could possibly flip this property and get $33,000 as my net profit. That's based on $71,000 that I'm investing, plus the $30,000 in repair. So that's about $100,000. I could profit about $33,000 if I kept this property. Or I could turn right around and just sell it for 80 something. But I know right now, today, that I can sell this property as is for $125,000. Right? I know because that's condition it is. So how do you know that, Mr. Ray? Well, I'm going to show you right here. Any questions right now? I'm going to show you the video that I got. Any questions on this property? Let's go to my potential sellers, 2408. This is my initial walkthrough on this property. Again, it's a 3-bed, 1 bath, 1 car garage. Looks like the kitchen's in pretty good shape. Really, if I just wanted to turn around and rent this property, all I'd have to do is clean it up, paint it, and probably put some new floors in it. And it could turn around and rent for probably about $1,100 a month in the area that it's in. So as I said, it's a 3-bedroom. The house is intact. When she moves, of course, everything will be gone. What I focus in on is the kitchen and the bathroom and the floors. So in the bathroom, really don't have to do a lot. All I got to do is clean it up. Let's look in here. Yeah, just clean it up. Tile looks like it's in pretty good shape. All the plumbing looks like it's in decent shape. The floor is okay. Everything looks good. So again, if I just turned around and did nothing to it, I could probably just wholesale it easily for $125,000, because I already know, well, you say 125, at least 120. I already got a guy. You can see she's growing a few things in here. And then she got this additional, this addition back here that I don't think is part of the square footage, okay? You see, she's in the plants for sure. But again, I feel like this is a good enough deal. I got it under contract. It just needs to be cleaned up and cleaned out. So I got options. I can wholesale the property, turn around and make a good 30, 40,000 on it, selling it to a wholesaler for about 120, 125, or I can just rent the property out, put about $5,000 or $6,000 into it, and then turn around and rent it for $1,000. Now I would BRRRR this, which means I would let the bank come out after I fix it up. They tell me it'd probably be worth about 140, 150. I would refinance 75% of that, and then I will keep going. Any questions on that property and my logic and my thinking on it? Any questions? So I haven't decided what I'm gonna do on it yet. I may just turn it over and you know, sell it, or I might just keep it, or I might fix and flip it. So anybody got any ideas on what they would do with it?
I like it. I think I just rent it out.
I kind of like that idea too. So anyway,
Yeah,
I got time to think about it. Any other questions?
yeah, I think about that add-on that she added with the plants and what you did with the other house. I think you can be real creative with that one too.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see where we are right now. Let's go back to, okay, so I got the final payoff. Where is it at? Okay, we already showed you that one. That's the final judgment. That's my purchase agreement. That's the title word. All right, so here's my final payoff. I got this payoff today, 11/29 yesterday. So this is the property, 2408 Northwest 33rd. They're saying I need to make a cashier's check out to these people for this amount. So here's the numbers. Remember I told you, I said it should be about 72, came in 73,795, okay? So here's all the charges that they add, and here's what they're saying. The unpaid balance is 71. Remember, it shows 69, but she hadn't paid it in 2 years, so they added it back up, added all that interest back up. There's a foreclosure fee. They just tack on all these fees, and so I'm gonna have to present them a check for 73,795 in order to stop this foreclosure. Okay. So for me, it's worth it, 73. I already know it's worth approximately, ARV is 150. So that's about 70,000 in equity. Okay. Any questions? So let's look at that area. So where I get my comps from. Let's do this. Let me go this. So my first comp was 2215 Northwest 38. 2215. Let's see if I can find it over here. What did I say that amount was? 140. Let's look for 140 in here. That's 135. Oh, that was one of them. 2237 North Eubank. So this was one of my comps that I used. This is 2-bed, 1-bath. It's 1,086. Remember, mine was like right in that area, but it's a 3-bed, 1-bath. So this is one of the comps that I'm going to use. About the same size house. It's a 2-bed. As you can see, they did rehab it. They brought it up. Nicely done. But remember, it's just a 2-bedroom. So the cost per square foot on that one was about 124. Let's see, let's look at one of my other ones. 145, 230.
Mr. Ray, does the outside really look like that color?
The outside of 2408.
The one you just showed, that blue?
Yeah, this is the property right here, 2408. So what color, you talking about the color of the comp?
The one you just, the one you just showed.
Okay,
With the renovated inside.
oh, hold on. Let me go back here. Let's see, which one was it? Eubanks? That was the Eubanks, wasn't it? Hold on. It was 2237 Eubanks. Let's just put it in there. Yeah, that's the color of it. That's the color they painted it. So yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at the other one I had was 1901 Northwest 37th. 1901 Northwest 37. All right, this one rehab, it just sold on November the 12th. It's 2-bed, 1-bath, a little bit bigger than the one we got, but it was a total rehab, so I think it's a good comp. 1901. And they brought it all the way up to the top. So as you can see, it's very well done. New floors, everything is new, lighting, the whole nine. So this is the top of the line, all right? So this one, again, it's sold for $198. And $198 is 170 a square foot. So if you take the one that I've got, and it's a, let's say we sold it for a similar, we took it all the way up to this, 137 a square foot, 1086 times 137. That means I get about 150 for it. And that's why I said it probably, this one's a little bit bigger than that other one. That's why I came in at 198. But as you can see, I mean, it just sold over there. So the properties are moving good. Most of the properties only average about 15, 20 days on the market over there. Any questions? Again, here's my comps. I'm thinking once you ARV it, get it totally all the way fixed up. If I was gonna fix it up, I'd put 30,000 in it, and that they could flip. So this is what a flipper would do, right? So they would buy it from me for I'll just put my 10 fee and sell it to them for 81, but I'm not gonna sell it for 81 because I know that I can just, somebody can just come over and get it. I can sell it to someone for 125 and they can just put 25 in it, right? But if it's not gonna be a good flip if they do that, right? This is gonna be a buy and hold for someone. It's not really a flip because they'd have to get it from me for this price, right? Let's say they got it from me. I just added my my 10,000, 82. So they got it from me for 82, then they'd only make 23,000. And most guys want to make a little bit more than that. So from a flipping standpoint, if I was going to flip it, I'd figure out, you know, I would have my 72,000 here, and then I would figure out how to make sure that I did that I was able to keep those repairs around 30,000. Any questions on that one? So all I got to do now, we got the payoff. All we got to do at this point is go over and pay it off. And we're scheduled to do that. Let's see, the closing says this is good until, let's see, what does it say here? Till Thursday, December the 2nd, right? So I have till Thursday, December 2nd, which is a couple of days, to come up with this 73,000. And the reason why a lot of people can't do this is because they don't have the 73,000. This is where a lot of people can't get these type of wholesale deals because they don't have 73,000. You say, well, if it's a wholesale deal, can't you just get it under contract and then you can give it to one of your investors and they can give you the cash for it? Most of the investors can't turn the cash around for me and get it to me this quick. So in this case, I can still wholesale it, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and buy it and then I can turn around and wholesale it, okay? So one of the things that I'm gonna do is go ahead, I've already got the quick claim deed. I'm gonna go over tomorrow and I'm gonna get her to sign the quick claim deed. And then I'm probably gonna go to Tulsa early on Thursday morning and deliver that cashier's check for 73,000, then the property is mine. Now I gotta negotiate with getting her out of the property. How long am I gonna let her stay there before I get her out of the property? Any questions on that one? So that one's good to go. We'll be talking about we'll be talking about that as we move forward. Okay. Now, the second one that I've got, let's see, let's talk about it. So this is one that I just picked up. This address is 4613 Northwest 28. And I'm buying this from Timothy. This is one that that Christina brought to me. So Christina, one of my platinum team members, she brought this one to me, and we finally got the contract on this today. As you can see, I just got the contract today. I asked, I got a sales price of 170. Again, I'm going to show you how I came up with that number. We're purchasing the property as is. Again, Chicago title, we'll close it there, but I'm going to have to come up with the 170 and pay it off before it ever gets to this December date. Again, it's my standard contract, but I have it under contract now. So now all I got to do is get what the final payoff is on it. Okay. So let's go back to the sheriff's sale. And I think this one also, I think he's also scheduled for, he might be scheduled for December the 2nd. Let's see if Tim is on here. Christina, what date was that on? I think you sent that to me. Is Christina on here?
Yes, I am.
What was the date on that sale?
December 2nd.
All right, let's go back to December 2nd. So he should be on here. Where's Timothy Jones? Here he is right here. So see, they've already recalled this one because we have already inquired to get the payoff on this. So here's the one. So first thing I did was again go in and look up this particular case for Timothy Udy. So let's go back and show you where I started at. So I will go back here. I'm looking at, let me just put in the case number, CJ 184910. CJ 184910. Okay. Let me take her name out. So it's just going to take me to this case for Timothy. All right. So I'm going to show you what I looked at. So here we go. So here it is. This is the case, Prime Lending Capital versus Timothy. Okay. So I'm going to go in here. I know it's a foreclosure. And I can see that they have default judgment again. So Timothy never even showed up to fight this deal. So I want to go down and try to figure out how much it is that he owes on this property. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll all the way down, then I'm gonna scroll back up, and I'm looking for the final judgment. So I'll roll back up here. There were several on this one. Let me see if I can find that final judgment. Okay, here's the final journal entry right here. This was back in 2019. So they got judgment back in 2019. All right, make that a little bit better. So here's the case. Final judgment is here. So here's my number right here. So now I know that he owes 166, plus they're gonna want, it looks like attorney fees of 4,000. So I already know I'm looking at 170. So that's what I'm gonna offer him for the property, because I just want to pay off what he owes on it. Okay. And so here it is again, 166 plus 4. So that's where I got my 170 that I offered him. Say, Mr. Ray, how do you know that property is worth 170? Okay. Well, let's go back and do what we did before, right? Let's go back over to here. We'll put the property in 4613 Northwest. Oh, let me show you the property first. So I actually have access to the property. And 4613. Let's look at this one. All right, so here we go. This property is 2,300 square feet. It's in pretty good shape. Normally, I don't find them cleaned out like this. You know, normally when I show you these properties, they're dirty and it needs clean out. This property was already pretty clean. This property is going to need, let's see, there's a couple windows that's broken. It's going to need new floors. It's going to need repainting. But other than that, I mean, unless you wanted to take it all the way up, you wouldn't have to do anything but come in here and clean this thing up and make it rentable. Now you could come in and paint the cabinets white because that's kind of updated right there, right? But it's a 3-bed, 3-bath, 2-car garage. Also has a building on the outside, and this property is going to be a good wholesale property. So I signed the contract today for $172,000. So we're waiting to see what the final payoff on it is. And again, I'm going to show you the numbers on this one because this might be one that I keep and just put in my portfolio. This might be one of my girls. It's going to be high end. It's going to lease for about $1,600 a month. And it's in a very, very nice area. So we'll probably have to at least redo one of the bathrooms. This is one of the half bathrooms right here. It's just a big house, right? This is a big living area right here. This will just need to be painted. Again, all the carpet will be put up, and you can put some laminate tile in here. Or if I sold this to a flipper, he would come in and just totally rehab this thing. It probably for, you know, maybe $50,000, $60,000, he could bring this thing all the way up to the top and possibly get close to $300,000 for this. So I'm going to show you what the ARV looks like on this in a minute. Any questions at this point?
If you were rehabbing that, would you just put down new carpet, or would you do the laminate?
It's all, I never put carpet in any of my properties anymore. It'd be all laminate. Now it's cheaper to do carpet, but if I'm going to lease it, it's got to be laminate floor because I don't want to be changing the carpet all the time. Now, if I was going to sell it, rehab it, I possibly could put carpet in it. Some people still like carpet. Now this bathroom, again, if I was going to rehab it, I'd tear all this out and we just put in a new bathroom. Okay, new tile, new floor, new everything in here, right? And you could probably do that for about $5,000. But this is a nice property in a nice neighborhood. It has a jacuzzi out back, and then it also has, like I said, a nice little addition out back that has electricity to it and everything. So let's look at the numbers on it. Then we're going to be finishing up here. Okay, so here's the numbers on this property. Okay, so when I plug in my my comps, this 3-bed, 3-bath, 2-car, 2,300 square feet. I got an ARV coming in at about 260, right? And if I were going to wholesale it, it looks like the maximum allowable offer should be right around 156. Remember, I told you I'm looking at about 172. So I would be paying a little bit more than what I would normally pay for. Let's see, 172 negative 156. So I'm paying about $16,000 more, which to me is not, you know, I'm close enough. I could probably still make some money on this deal. I could probably turn around and sell this property. Once I pay 172, I could probably sell it for about 200, right? Because if they took it all the way up, they could get closer to 280 for it. So if you see some of these properties that's selling over here, this is a 4-bedroom that sold for 275. It just sold today, right? It was only on the market 4 days. Here's another one that's pending. It's a 2006. They sold it for 236. It was on the market for 114 days. This other one was 295. It's pending right now. It's been on the market 95, and this one right here looks like it's sold on September 10th. So looks like the average is about 110 a square foot. So again, I think you could probably, if you really took it all the way up, you get close to 170. So let's look at the math if I were to flip it. Okay, so if the ARV is 261 and I purchased it for 172, I'm saying it's going to need about 40 in repairs to bring it all the way up. It's going to cost me 19,000 closing and holding costs. Could possibly get 30,000 if I flip it. Okay, possible profit. But I'm probably not going to flip this property. I'm either going to keep it or I'm just going to wholesale it. Okay, so if I kept it and rent it, what I've already figured out, so I could refinance it. Let's see, that the refinance is going to be more like 187. So the bank's going to give me, I said it's going to be 250 is ARV. So bank will give me 75% of that. That's 187. So the bank will give me 187. I'll turn around and rent it for 1,600. My principal and interest will be 919. Taxes 182. Insurance 166. Total payment will be 1,260, and I could net cash flow this thing for $300 something a month. Okay. The other thing I talked to Lila about, we could make this our Airbnb, right? This could be one of our Airbnbs. It's a big property. It's a nice area. It has a jacuzzi. It's just got a lot of good things. So the numbers on that would be different. I haven't done that, but either way, looks like this will turn out to be a good deal. Any questions on this property?